the body, work to the body, work to the, good, good. Okay, stop. Welcome to Perfect Tournament and Continuous Sparring. In this series, I'll be going over the importance of tournament sparring as well as continuous sparring. In tournament sparring, I'll be going over the tournament rules, tournament training, in a point sparring competition. Also in continuous sparring, like full contact sparring, we'll be going over some training tips such as conditioning, reflex drills. These are the things that we'll be going over. So grab paper and pencil, take notes, or better yet, put your uniform on and follow along. If you have any questions about any of the kicking or punching combinations, please refer it back to my winning kicking and punching combination for sparring, the tape series. So let's get started. Now you're ready for perfect tournament sparring, tournament competition. But before you get started with the tournament training, let's talk about the tournament, the competition itself. First, you have to be in condition to compete. You may be going to a tournament, maybe performing your form once. If you tie, you have to perform again. And of course, if you win, actually, when you win, you'll be performing in the nighttime finals. So you have to be in great shape. If you're also sparring, you have to be sparring 1, 2, maybe 5, 6 rounds. If you're in the grand championship round, you'll be fighting another 3, 4 more rounds. So you have to be in tip-top shape. And to enhance this training, you can use weights, you can run, jog, swim, any form of exercise. But remember, if you want to be good at martial art, you have to practice martial arts. All the other exercises will enhance the martial arts training, but there's nothing better than martial arts training to improve the martial art. And since you're training for tournament fighting, don't forget to do lots of rounds of free sparring. Second thing to remember is the ratings. If you're a nationally rated competitor or you're trying to break into the national rating, remember, A-rated tournaments or national tournaments, you get more rating points. Those things are important to know so you know exactly where your rating points go to, whether it's in form or, in this case, fighting. And lastly, the most important, the rules. You have to know the rules. I've seen a lot of competitors go to a tournament and they don't even know what rules to follow. In some tournaments, groin is a point. In some tournaments, kicking techniques are 2 points instead of 1. In some tournaments, you have what they call double elimination instead of single, which means after you lose, you still get one more chance to fight. Where if you don't know the rules, after you lose your first match, if you go into the locker room to change, you'll be missing out on that second chance. So remember, know the rules, contact rules, disqualification rules, point rules, whether it's 2 points or 1 point before you go to the competition. And if you don't know the rules, I recommend you call the tournament promoter. Ask him to send you a flyer or brochure of the tournament. And if there's none available, it's probably better for you to stay at home. Okay, let's get started with some reflex drills. First, with the hand techniques. Mr. Young and Park and Mr. Eric San Jose will be assisting me with these drills. Okay, first we're going to work on the back fist drills, hands drills. And as you can see, they have all of the equipment, headgear, mouth guard, rib guard, hand, foot gear, as well as a groin protector. Okay, so let's put them on. They'll be squaring off in a fighting stance. Fighting stance where they're comfortable, where they can move. But I'm going to restrict their movement because I want them to be able to work on their reflexes. Here we're going to be working on back fist strikes. Okay, so let's get into a stance. Here they both have same side in the front. And if you notice, their feet are touching. So they can't run away from each other. But here, they can shift their body weight. See that shift? Okay, shift. Front and back. And as you can see, as they shift back and forth, they can get anywhere between about 6 inches to about a foot distance. Mr. Eric San Jose will be throwing a back fist by shifting his weight to the front, and Mr. Park will be leaning back to avoid and same time block. And of course, Mr. Park will come back to do the same thing. Okay? He will be throwing the back fist technique, and again, his objective is to lean as much as he can without losing his balance and trying to make contact. So this way you get to work on the reach on the back fist as well as your balance. Okay, let's see that. Okay, Mr. Eric, let's get started. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, our objective here is try to make contact. If you're an attacker, if you're a defender, of course, not to get hit. Again, get somebody to work with you and making light contact. Okay, remember, reach in there and reach back. Okay, Mr. Eric, let's get started. Ready? On your own count. 1. If you notice, they're making contact, they're blocking. This will help you to work on your reflexes in terms of attacking and, of course, blocking. Okay, come on. 차렷, 경례. As you can see, this drilling exercise will help you to work on your reflexes. You'll see attacking, defending, attacking, defending. And because it's done in a nice, slow pace, you'll be able to keep your eyes open and be able to see your opponent as well as the technique. If you're not used to the technique, your first or natural human instinct is to close the eyes and to flinch, to protect. But that's not what we want. We want to be able to see what the techniques are. So this way, we can block. Now, let's continue with the same exercise from same foot position so where you can't run away from each other. Remember, you have to work with somebody that you trust. Work with somebody that you know. Okay, so let's get into this stance again. And you notice their foot just about touching so they can't run away from each other. Okay, you notice his back heel is off the ground slightly. So this way, he's not going to be caught flat-footed. Okay? So this time, Mr. Eric San Jose will be following a back fist to the head, and Mr. Parkwell has to block, and he's going to come right back with a reverse punch to the body, and of course, Mr. Park has to be quick enough to block that. So now, he has to do 2 things. 1, he has to retreat and avoid that technique, and 2, he has to be able to block. So 2 techniques coming, but again, he's at the same range. And Mr. Eric's objective is try to score both times, making light contact. Okay, Mr. Eric, 1. And then Mr. Park, 2. Mr. Eric, 1, 2. Okay, get your balance. Okay, good, good. Now, when you're going through this drill very quickly, you may be losing your balance because you notice you're restricted right here. So don't forget to reset that balance. Okay, Mr. Eric, ready? 1. Mr. Park, 2. Ready, Mr. Eric? 1, 2. Okay, let's try that on your own a few times. Okay? Now again, it's very important to keep your eye on your target, working on the reflex. Okay, light touch, body shift, attacking and defending. Okay, very important working on your balance, body shift, as well as your balance. Okay, come on. 차렷. 경례. Now, you can do the same drill with combining back fist strike with a ridge hand strike, a reverse punch with the ridge hand strike, front or even back ridge hand. You can use any of the hand techniques to work on that reflex drills. Okay, let's continue on with our reflex drills, combining hands and feet, as well as front and back hand to defend. In this drill, we'll be working with a back fist strike and a front leg roundhouse kick. Once again, back fist strike and front leg roundhouse kick. Okay, let's get started. Okay, guards up. Now, once again, if you watch the front foot position, this time their feet are not together because we don't want their foot to be restricting their kicking technique. We want to make sure their foot is clear, so about where toes are in line. Mr. Park will be starting out with the back fist strike to set up, and he'll skip, bring his back foot up, and front leg round kick. And if you notice, Mr. Eric blocked with his backhand. So here you're utilizing both front and backhand to block. Okay, let's see Mr. Eric. He's going to lunge in, throw the back fist strike. Mr. Park lunges back and block, and he skips and round kick, and the other hand is ready to block. Okay, so in this situation, you're using two different angles, coming from inside and outside. Therefore, the defender is ready to block with both hands. Back fist strike and a front leg roundhouse kick. Again, keep your eyes at the target on your opponent. Okay, Mr. Park, 1. Mr. Eric, 2. Remember, objective here, try to make a touch with a back fist strike, as well as try to make a touch with a roundhouse kick. Mr. Park, 1. Mr. Eric, 2. Okay, Mr. Park, 1. And Mr. Eric, 2. Now, if you start noticing, they're not shifting their body weight too much. The reason? Because they're starting to get confident with their blocks. So they don't have to flinch or they don't have to move away. They're in close, their block is confident, so they're using their hands to block. In turn, you get more confidence, you can counter back much easier because you're not away from your opponent. So you will notice their body's not going to be swinging back as much as what you saw earlier. So let's continue on with that. Okay, Mr. Park, let's go. 1, 2. And Mr. Eric. A few more times. Get close, make touch, make touch, make touch, make touch. And come on. 차렷. 경례. Now you've noticed I said make touch because I want them to be reminded that it's not a full contact exercise. It's a reflex drill. You don't want to be too far away. You do want to make light contact. So instead of saying contact, I use the word touch, which also emphasizes control. Okay, last reflex drills. Let's go ahead and combine these techniques together. You have a back fist strike, you have a reverse punch, and you have a front leg roundhouse kick. We're going to combine all three together to work on the reflex of attacking as well as, of course, defending. Okay, face each other, please. 차렷, 경례. Okay, fighting stance. Again, stay close. Now, once again, if you're in a tournament situation, you will rarely be standing this close. So therefore, if you can block everything that your opponent is throwing in this close range, you should be able to block everything when they're a little bit further away. Okay, here it goes. Mr. Park will come with a back fist strike, reverse punch, shifting his body weight, and front leg, roundhouse kick. Okay, and Mr. Eric's going to come back. Okay, back fist strike, reverse punch, and front leg, roundhouse kick. Okay, you want that technique to flow. 1, 2, 3. Again, work with each other, control. Try to make that light contact, touch contact. Okay, Mr. Park, 1. Mr. Eric, 2. Remember, the objective is try to score with all 3 techniques, not just 1. Ready? 1, 2. Okay, Mr. Park, 1. And Mr. Eric, 2. Okay, now Mr. Park, couple on your own. Mr. Eric, couple on your own back. Remember, stay close. Make touch, get in, get inside. That's it, make light touch. Good block, okay, come on. Now, let's try these with moving around. Same drill, except instead of standing in one position, I'm going to have them move around a little bit to give them a little bit more momentum. Fighting stance, 준비? Okay, get close, please. All right, let's go, Mr. Park. On your own. Okay. Remember, get close, get close. Good point here. Okay, you got to block. Okay, you got to block. Good. One more time. Okay. That's it. Good point. Okay. Good. Come on. 차렷. 경례. Any of these drills you can use by combining different techniques. It doesn't have to be a back fist. It doesn't have to be a reverse punch. It doesn't have to be a front leg round kick. It can be any of the techniques. Just work with a partner and see what kind of reflex drills you can make up. Now let's go into tournament kicking drills. Before we get into that, please always keep in mind at the tournament you have 3 or sometimes 5 judges. You need majority rules, meaning if you have 3 judges, you need 2 judges to see your points. If you have 5 judges, you need at least 3 judges to see your points. So if you recall, on the last reflex drill, we did a back fist strike, reverse punch, and front leg round kick. If the first judge didn't see the back fist strike, maybe they'll see the reverse punch. And if they didn't see that, maybe the roundhouse kick. That's why it's very important for you to throw combinations, just in case some of the judges don't see your first or maybe even your second technique. You need to follow up, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this kicking drills. Okay, let's start with our first kicking drill, sliding in, the footwork. 90% of the tournament points are scored with your front leg kicks, whether it's front leg round kick, side kick, hook kick, axe kick, any of the technique. Because in tournament sparring, it's not how hard you hit, but how quickly you hit. And since your leg is longer than your arm, and your leg is stronger than your arm, you can get to your opponent quickest. Now, let's talk about the kick. When you pick up the front leg, with this round kick or side kick, your bottom foot should pivot. As the bottom foot pivots, don't just stay there. I want you to use the momentum and slide in. And depending on your slide, you'll get anywhere again, a foot, maybe even a 2-foot extra distance. Let's see that slow motion, step by step. As I pick up my knee, I pivot, and I slide in. One more time. As I pick up my foot, I pivot and slide in. And you notice I covered about a good foot of distance. Most important thing to remember on that is make sure your body weight goes with you. Don't leave your body back here and take that foot, and you know where you'll end up. Once again, keep that body nice and straight. Ready? Pivot and sliding in. And one last time. Ready? Pivot and sliding in. Now let's try a couple more of that. Instead of doing side kick, where your knee comes in, I want you to do a roundhouse kick. Pointed knee at the target. Okay, so as the knee comes up, your bottom foot slides in. Just a fold. Don't have to kick. Ready? Up and slide. One more time. Ready? Up and slide. And last one. Ready? Up and slide. And by doing this exercise, you'll be able to cover the distance at the quickest rate. And let's try for the last time. And this time, let's go ahead and kick out. As you slide in, you kick out. That's a sliding roundhouse kick drill. And we'll see the application of that in just a second. Okay, let's put this together with a partner. You'll start out with fighting stance, sliding in, and a roundhouse kick, making a light contact, light touch contact to the midsection. Okay, Mr. Park and Mr. San Jose. Okay, face each other, please. Chariot, 경례, fighting stance. Okay, right leg front, 2 arms length. Okay, first start out with about 2 arms length. Okay, if that's too far for you, get a little bit closer. Start out close and then work your way out to longest, your maximum range. Nice and easy first. As Mr. Eric just working on the pickup. As he picks up, I want you to just work on the sliding in. Ready? That's it. Okay? Now Mr. Park, ready? 1. That's it. You notice as the knee comes up, bottom foot pivots and slides in. Ready? One more time. Up and pivot and slide in. And Mr. Park, up and pivot and slide in. Good. Now, let's go ahead and make contact. Okay? As they slide in, they'll be making light contact same time. Okay? All right, Mr. Eric, let's go ahead. On your own. Okay? Mr. Park. Remember, try not to move the back foot. Okay? Remember, what you don't want to do is skip. You want to slide. That's it. That's it. Slide. That's it. Come on. Now, the reason I was talking about the step and sliding. From fighting stance, if you bring your back foot up, even an inch, you've lost an inch of a time. So don't move that back foot. Instead of moving that back foot, pick up your foot, front foot. That means you've gained that inch of a second. So therefore, by bringing that back foot up and then sliding, you've lost that split second. You lost that split second edge. So when you're practicing this sliding, remember your weight, remember your balance. Pick up that front foot right away, shift that weight to the back leg, and slide in. Okay, let's finish that up. Fighting stance. Okay, remember, weight on the back leg, go. That's it, Mr. Park, right away. Okay, Mr. Eric, Mr. Park, Mr. San Jose, and Mr. Park. And come on, 차려, 경례. And if you're having difficulty with this exercise, start out with feet together. That'll help you with your balance. Now you're ready to put some of the kicking and punching techniques together with a sliding action. We'll have Mr. Eric slide in first with a roundhouse kick. And he'll follow with that back fist strike and a reverse punch. So let's see that in action. Ready? 차렷, 경례, fighting stance. Okay? Mr. Eric will slide in with that roundhouse kick. And at the end of roundhouse kick, when his body momentum is going forward, he will not just land. He will extend his front hand using that technique, using that body flow, and following with back punch. So slow motion, slide in, 1, and follow 1, 2. Okay? And then Mr. Park will be coming back, sliding in, follow 1, 2. Okay, let's see that slow motion one more time. Ready? Kick, 1, 2. And Mr. Park, kick, 1, 2. Now, again, it's important for you to remember that 1, 2, but right now, remember, you're concentrating more on that slide step. So remember the slide step. If you can't do the slide step, you're not going to be able to throw that 1, 2 punch either. So it's more important for you to concentrate on that slide step before you think about that 1, 2 punch follow-up. Okay? Ready? Mr. Eric San Jose, first. 1. And Mr. Young Park, 2. Good. Mr. Eric San Jose, 1. Good slide step. Mr. Young Park, 2. And you notice they're covering about a good foot, maybe even a foot and a half of distance. Okay, Mr. Eric San Jose, 1. And Mr. Young Park, 2. And as you notice, they are still at their 2-arm length. So therefore, they're at a comfortable range. And these are the exercise drills you can do to cover the distance quickly in tournament sparring. Let's continue on with our sliding kicking drill. First, with the partner, holding a target. Mr. San Jose will be holding the target for me, and I'll be sliding in, making contact. Remember, once again, in tournament, point sparring, you do have to make contact, but not a hard contact. You have to get there as quickly as possible. So from fighting stance, again, I want to be at a distance where I cannot reach. So first, I'll start out at comfortable range. As I pick up my knee, bottom foot has to pivot and slide in. Roundhouse kick. Okay, guards up, get a partner, have somebody hold a target for you, or you can do this by yourself. Follow along. Pick up the front leg first. Okay, and then as you kick, pivot and slide in. One more time. Remember, front leg has to come up first. Okay, ready? Pick your front leg up first, guards up, looking at the target, and slide in. And make contact. Okay, let's try that 3 more times fast. Ready? 1. 2. 3. And remember, make quick slide, quick contact. And you can do that with a side kick as well as hook kicks. The last drill you can do for this sliding kicking techniques, because remember, once again, in tournament sparring, 90% of the points are scored with your front leg. Front leg to keep your opponent away because it's the longest. Also front leg to score. Let's work on this sliding. I want you to slide and throw 1 kick. But this time, don't put your leg down. Try to refold it and hold it there because we're going to go 2 times. Not just 2 kicks, but sliding again. So 2 slides. You ready? Okay, pick that front leg up. Sliding in. 1. Stay there. Ready? Sliding again. 2. Okay, I hope you got the idea. Let's try to go for 3. Remember, 1, 2, 3. Sliding in 3 times. Ready? Guards up. Go. 1, 2, 3. Now let's go for 4. You ready? Guards up. Look at the target. Pick the knee up. Sliding in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. And last one, let's go for 5 times. Ready? Guards up. Keep your posture. Sliding in. Knee up. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I hope you kept up. But that's the idea of sliding kicks. Before we conclude this section about tournament or point sparring, we'll have Mr. Eric San Jose and Mr. Young Park demonstrate some tournament or point sparring. I'm sure you know many other drills or even exercises that will improve your tournament training. However, the reflex drills, the sliding kick drills. Those are the two most important drills that I feel that will get you to the winner circle. So practice those two drills, and I'm sure it'll help you in tournament sparring. So let's see some point sparring. Okay? Face each other, please. Bow. Okay, fighting stance. 준비! Okay, here they'll be using the rule 1-point hand, 2-point kicks. They must make light contact to the face and to the body, and of course, nothing below the knee. That's the rules. Ready? Begin. Stop. Okay, you call the points at home. Ready? Go. Stop. Now remember, judges may not see all the points, but when they stop, stop. But make sure you're always prepared to block, just in case your opponent does not stop. Continue. Stop. You notice they're setting each other up. Ready? Continue. Stop. Remember, it's the quick, it's the speed that counts in point sparring. Continue. Stop. And because of the quickness, sometimes you can't even get off 3 or 4 or 5 combination. 1, 2, 3. Maybe that's all you need. But just in case judges don't see the first 1 or 2, you got to have 3 and 4. Continue. Stop. Ready? Continue. Stop. Ready? Continue. Stop. And come on, face each other. 차렷, 경례. Face the front. 차렷, 경례. You have just completed a section on perfect tournament competition sparring. Now let's get on with perfect continuous or even full contact training. Once again, make sure you are safe. Before you start training, get yourself a hand wrap, boxing gloves, bag gloves. These are the things you're going to need, in addition to the headgear, mouth guard, rib guard, groin protector, and of course, the footgear that we talked about. So get yourself ready, and we'll get started right away. That's it. Use both hands. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Work to the body. Footwork. Work to the body. Work to the body. Work to the body. Work to the... Good. Good. Okay, stop. Face each other. 차렷. 경례. Okay, face front. Okay, you just saw them working on their hand techniques, the continuous sparring. Now in this section, we'll cover how to work on your hands as well as feet. We're going to be going through the different drills where we mix up our hands and feet together. So not just hands, not just feet. Because in continuous sparring, all 4 weapons, 2 hands and 2 feet, are needed for you to achieve the perfect continuous sparring. Okay, let's get started with reflex drills of the continuous sparring. Once again, it's very important you have the proper equipment. As you can see, now I'm wearing the gloves. Mr. Eric San Jose, who'll be assisting me, is fully geared up. Now let's take a stance. Now one of the most important things about continuous sparring is you always have to be on guard. Here, when I throw my technique, you want to make sure your eyes are not closing or you're not flinching. So I'm going to be working nice and easy, teaching Mr. Eric San Jose, let him get used to how the contact is by throwing a jab, front punch, straight toward his headgear, aiming straight toward his face. There's a light contact. This will also work on his neck muscles, as well as he can see where the technique is coming from. In his mind, he's looking at the technique, he's getting used to the line of attack, as well as the techniques. If he needs to, he can move out of the way. So this drill just teaches you how to just see the technique and also, same time, get used to getting hit. Make sure you work with somebody that you trust and they don't get carried away and they give you one a little bit too hard. That's not what you want. You want to be able to work into it gradually. Start at soft, medium, and if you wish, you can go at hard speed. A few more times, nice and easy. Once again, we square off, and you notice this time I'm using different hand. Okay, I can mix it up, front and back. And Mr. San Jose trusts me enough to let me just throw the technique at light speed. So this way he develops his eye contact, so this way he can see everything, and everything he sees, he should be able to block as well as move away and counter if he needs to. Now, continuing on with this reflex drill, I'm going to be continuing to throw the front and backhand right at his forehead. My objective is to make contact. Mr. San Jose, he'll be getting hit as well as he'll be avoiding the punching techniques. So let's see that, okay? Here we go. So we start out first with making a nice punch. Okay? As you can see, he's moving just side to side. And he's always looking at me so he knows exactly where I am. He knows exactly where the punch is coming from. Okay? I can throw front hand or I can throw backhand. It's going straight at him. Okay? You want to make sure his balance is there so he's not bending at the waist. He's bending right at the knee, moving side to side. Okay? Continuing on. Same drill. My objective again, I aim right toward the center of his forehead. That's where I'm aiming. Okay? Continuing on. And we'll let him just move side to side, still working at same speed. If he's there, I make contact. If he's not there, I miss. I don't follow him. I don't chase him. I'm throwing the technique straight line. So this way, he can see the technique as well as he can move away. Now, third step on this reflex drill, he doesn't just move away, he can also deflect with his guards. So this is your third stage. First stage, just let it come right in so you can see. Second stage, moving side to side. Third stage, moving side to side and also deflecting with your guards. Ready? Again, at same speed, nice and easy. You want to make sure the defender is not flinching. You want to make sure he has a complete trust. So this way, when you throw that technique, he knows that you're not going to get carried away. You can throw any technique you wish. Okay, you're aiming right toward his forehead. That's my objective. Okay, I want to make sure I get in there and I make contact. Okay, one at a time, nice and slow. Don't rush. Take your time, a nice pace. Just throw it straight at in there. Okay, don't throw a crooked punch, fake punch. Okay, don't fake and go. Just throw it nice and one straight shot. One straight shot. Okay, just throwing it straight in. Okay, these are your reflex drills. Okay, as you just noticed, we went through it at slow speed. You can move it up to medium or even at a faster pace, depending on your training. Again, first starting out at a ready position, you see the technique coming straight at you. Second, moving side to side. Third, moving with the deflection. And these are the drills you can do to help your reflexes. Let's continue on with our reflex drills using a target. Here simply 1, 2. 1, 2 punch. I call out 1. Mr. San Jose responds with the front hand. I call out 2. He responds with the backhand. And of course, if I respond 1, 2, he must throw both techniques. So let's see this in action. Ready? Guards up. Okay. 1. 1. 1, 2. 2. 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now these are your simple target drills to build up your reflexes with just simple 1, 2. Yes, you can go to 3 and 4. And use your imagination, which will help you with the reflex drills with the target. Now let's continue on with the reflex drills using target shield. This time, Mr. Eric San Jose will be using 1 as a front hand, 2 as a backhand, 3 as a front leg front kick, 4 as a back leg front kick. Now, of course, he can use side kicks if he wishes, or even spin kicks. 1, front hand, 2, backhand, 3, front leg kicks, front kick, side kicks, and 4 is the back leg. He must move on command, at my command, any combination I call out. Again, you may make up some of your own, but this is the drill that we're going to be using to show you how to improve that continuous sparring. Ready? Okay, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 4, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And come on. As you can see, he did an excellent work because he's been working on that reflex drills. Now let's continue on with reflex, number drills with the target shield. We're going to continue on with power round kicks. I'm going to be picking a number between 1 through 5, and that's how many times I would like for Mr. Eric San Jose to deliver that roundhouse kick on command. Let's start out nice and slow. Ready? 1. Again, remember you're working on that power. Okay? 1. Ready? 1. Okay, right away. 2. 1 and a 2. Okay, good. Ready? 2. 1 and a 2. Right away. Now let's go to 3. 3. 1 and a 2 and a 3. So by picking different numbers, that's how many he has to deliver. 1. 1. Moving around, footwork a little bit. Okay, remember you got to talk to your partner. So this way they're on alert. 3. 1 and a 2 and a 3. 1. 1. 2. And then give him a little break. Make sure you get his composure. 1. 1. 3. 1. Move around, move around. And then let's finish with the last one. 5. 1, 2, 3. Faster. 4 and a 5. Okay. Now, you notice the power. This is the power drill. Pick a number and work on that power with the reflexes. Let's continue on with the drills, this time with partner. But please remember, any of the training exercises, working with the bag, don't forget that, road work, jump rope, speed bag, weights, if you have double end bag, anything that'll help you with your training, please use them. Now let's go on with partner sparring. Now in this section, we'll be talking about different drills that you can do with your partner. Mr. Eric San Jose, Mr. Younggun Park. Now, fighting stance. 준비. Okay, first round, we'll just use hands only. Go. I'll be restricting their movement only with their hands. So this way they can work on their hands only. working on their balance. And of course, it's a continuous sparring, meaning you can't stop with one technique. You have to use different techniques to set up and to follow up. Stop. When you're training, minimum 2 minutes. 2 minutes per round, even 3. 2 or 3 minutes per round. Now let's go to kicking techniques. Ready? Fighting stance. Only kicks. Go. So you can use different concept in your training techniques. You can use only kicks, only hands. Okay? Follow up, follow up. 1, 2. Keep your guards tight. Keep your guards tight. Good. You see an axe kick. Okay? Spinning kick. Stop. So you just saw the drills only using kicking techniques. Now you can do that with just restricting just to the left side or even to the right side. Now this time we'll mix it up. We'll have one side use hands and the other side use feet. Okay? Fighting stance. Okay? Mr. Eric will only use hand techniques and Mr. Park will only use kicking techniques. Ready? Go! Okay? Combinations. Follow up. Okay? Follow up. Now since Mr. Park is using his leg, he wants to try to stay away. Since Mr. Eric is using hands, he wants to try to get inside. Okay, switch. Now, I said switch. That means Mr. Park is going to be using hands, and Mr. Eric San Jose will be using feet. Okay? Again, Mr. Eric San Jose's job is to try to stay away so he can use his legs. Mr. Park's job is to get in close so he can use his hands. Keep your guards up. Keep your guards up. Stop. And you notice how I rotated. Hands only, feet only, hands and feet. And I switch it up, feet and hands. There are many different drills that you can do. These are just few of them that'll help you with your perfect continuous sparring. You have just completed perfect tournament and continuous sparring. If you follow the training tips for the tournament sparring, point competition, and continuous sparring, full contact competition, you're on your way to a winner's circle. So keep training, and I'll see you at the next series.